Hello. I'm going to try and show off the mine colony mechanics, because a couple of my friends were apparently unsure on how to interact and use and just deal with this whole colony business. So I figured maybe if I make a little video where I just show off some of the mechanics, that'll help. I also wrote a tutorial, but I don't think anyone actually read that. Um, Maybe watching this video is easier. Maybe not. Um, so I'm just using the mod pack that we are using for the current multiplayer server. So there's a whole lot of stuff in here that's not mine colony related. However, I'm just gonna probably just gonna ignore that stuff because it's not relevant to this video or the video's topic. Just sort of there. Yum. Having a little sip from my can of beverage. It's peach flavored, which is a bit more aggressive than the mango flavored one. Be good? Oh yeah, I get to pick my background. I'm just gonna wildling, explorer, acrobat, who's the size of an orange. Perfect. Ugh. But this isn't so bad. Now, what is that? Actually, this isn't so bad. This is a pretty good place. Mostly flat, tons of wood, tons of water. Yeah, we can set up over here. So there's a desert? Rightio. So all of this stuff doesn't really matter. Getting that out of my screen. Tool. The build tool. Build tool. There we go. So this is important. This is the build tool. How do you make build a tool? This is how you make a build tool. What do you use a build tool for? It's the tool you use to indicate where you would want the little AI dudes to build things. So you right-click on a space, you pick. You should probably do this before you set up your colony. We're just gonna go with medieval oak. That's the classic, and I'm pretty sure there's tons of oak trees around. And just as an example, let's look at decorations, misc, big well. And here you can see you can have the thing be taller, be shorter. You definitely want to check what the right elevation is, otherwise the builder is going to try and just dig it out or build a tower, and that's kind of bad. You can turn it, you can mirror the building, and you can move it around. Where's a crow? I like crows. Rightio. So the build tool, mostly straightforward, I think. So a colony, how do you colony? Easy. Now, most people in survival will probably want to start with a camp, which comes in a supply camp, or there's also a supply boat. The supply the supply camp, please, game, is a, yep, oak, I've already decided. Is a structure which mostly just serves the purpose of providing a player with a couple of resources at the start of the game. This is the one for the medieval oak. It has a few tools, has a bit of water, has a stone in it, food. Nothing too exciting, but also much more than nothing. Also you can build a supply camp. By doing this, you can put a bunch of chests in like this boat shape. And a town hall also comes with a build tool, or this one does at least. This one isn't really necessary for a colony though. That's just a starter thing that helps new players or players who just want to have a little stuff, a camp. Right, colony. The core part of any colony is the town hall. Now there's at least for the medieval tile or styles. There's two town halls. There's like a castle one, or a stronghold looking one, which is usually something like this. Or there's the town hall, which is more like a regular kind of building. We're gonna go with the castle today, because I can afford to just castle. Because I'm creative mode, I can just summon this thing completed. But I think... yeah, sure, why not? No sense in being shy. Just summon this thing. So here I can pick the name for this place. Here's some made-up date, and there's some other kind of text that's not too important. We can call this town... And here we can also rename the town if we do not like this name. We can put up a map, just feed this thing maps, and we can get a town map that actually has some indicators of where's what. We can make our own flag, which is kind of cute. Like, I made a trans flag looking thing for the colony in our server. Not something that looks like that, but that's just something you can do. And you can remotely repair buildings and upgrade buildings from here. I haven't really interacted with that too much, but I just assume that it works. Here you can change permissions for specific players as to what they're allowed to do and supposed to do. There's some statistics. Sometimes opening this crashes the game for some reason. Here you can view your citizens, and here there are some miscellaneous settings. Now that's a town hall. Talking about this building isn't too important, since there's no colony without the town hall. This thing is unnegotiable. And I don't actually recommend ordering your builder to build this building once you set it down. So you can place this block and set up a colony without having built this whole thing. And then you can proceed with colony stuff without having built this thing. Because having a higher level town hall is important for unlocking higher tier buildings and increasing the range you have for your colony, which you can see when you equip the build tool. Here you can see the colony space. You may be allowed to build buildings inside this square. You can expand the square by building buildings at the edge, by building towers which have a greater sphere of enabling you to build things, or upgrading the town hall. Now, once you've placed the town hall block, and like I said, I don't really recommend building this thing first, because it doesn't really have much practical use right at the beginning of the game, or at the beginning of a colony. You will want to have a build hut. Now, the builder is maybe the most important kind of guy, because they're gonna be the chump who's gonna build all the buildings. They're not gonna be really fast or smart about it, but they're gonna try. So how do you build a build hut? Builder. Parts builder. Builder's hut. This is how you build a builder's hut. You use this tool. Also, this tool is not consumed when you use it in a crafting recipe, so you do not need to make tons of build tools. You put planks, door in the middle, you get a builder's hut. You use the builder's hut block to, in fundamentals, builder's hut, builder, you pick either one. They're functionally identical. One of them is just slightly different, maybe bigger, maybe smaller, different shape. I like to have my builder pretty central, so they are very relatively close to everything, more or less. So now we can walk around, look, does this fit? Does this make sense? Maybe I want to turn it around because it doesn't look good in this one thing. Maybe I don't want to have to dig, so... You do not want these buildings to overlap, ever, so you gotta be careful about that. So, yeah, this looks good. It's only a little bit more difficult to tell where you're building things if you cannot fly, so it's not usually an issue. So, we're not gonna... Yeah. We're not gonna just paste this building, we're gonna have this one constructed. We right-click it, now we get an UI tutorial. This is what most building UIs look like, more or less. You can view the priority for the logistical network. If you've played Factorio, you probably know what that is. But in this, it's mostly just you have the courier, which carries stuff around, the warehouse, which is the multi-purpose. We keep everything, and each building can store some amount of stuff. You can view the building's inventory down here. Some buildings have little racks that they put stuff in, so you can use this to view what the building has outside of this inventory here. Or maybe it includes that inventory as well? Yeah. Also, that's help. It helps, probably. Now we have building statistics. I mean, these are just statistics. You can view your work orders, since this thing isn't built or has any workers on it or in it. It hasn't any objectives. You can have some settings in here, of course. If I was in a desert, I would replace dirt with sand or something. Here we can teach them recipes. These are quite important. Not as important for the builder hut, because they mostly build buildings, not craft items. But if you teach them how to make a torch by putting a stick in here and a coal in here, they will, as long as they have the materials to do that, not ask you to give them torches, because they can make them themselves. However, these people are unable to go to the warehouse and grab the stuff that they need, because unlike Stronghold, these people are kind of useless. So, you will want to build a courier and a warehouse relatively early on, so people can deliver and get the materials they need pretty soon. So because these buildings are directly adjacent to each other, this thing, which marks the outside of the building, these overlap, but that's not too much of an issue. So, the builder. Now, the builder isn't, they are kind of useless without any...
I can't work like this.
I do not need anything. I don't need... Oh, I'm God. I can just make this person supreme. Or maybe that helps for the demonstration, at least. Yes! Ascend! Okay.
I can't work like that, mate.
Why are you British? You having a go at me? Okay, so these people need different tools. The higher the tier of the building, the higher quality or material tier the tools are allowed to be that these people use. Now, you have to build the builder's hut first, even if you do not intend to have the builder build anything and you use the build assist tool to build everything, you will still need to use the... you have to have a builder tool to... you have to have a building hut, a builder over here. Time, day... Ta-da. What was... I'm sorry, my attention span is terrible. Right, you need to have a builder hut so you can give build orders, and only buildings that have a build order can be built using the build assistance tool. So what's the build assistance tool? I can show you. There we go. Build assistant hammer. As long as you have the appropriate blocks in your inventory, you can... this is how you make it. These you cannot manually make. You need to teach your blacksmith how to make them by researching these, but generally speaking, these are kind of neat if these people are way too slow for your taste. Oh yeah, you need to wait for the builder to finish clearing the area. So, what does this guy want?
What's it today, then?
Oh yeah, you need a hoe. Here you go. Hoe. There's a hoe for you, hoe. Oh yeah, you don't actually need to throw these at them. You can control right-click to open the inventory immediately, or you right-click on them and click on inventory. That's how you can view that. So how fast does a 99 everything stat guy work? Excuse me. Let's just help this guy out a bit. Obviously, he's not gonna be done here anytime soon. Oh yeah, they also don't like leaves and flowers and just everything. They're very disturbed by any kind of block that's in the way of their construction effort. They'll probably ask for something like a hoe to deal with even the most pathetic of leaves. What do you want now?
Where's the courier?
An axe. Right, so gold counts as a tier 1 tool. Why? I can probably imagine they're not very good. Golden tools, that is. So yeah, let's give this guy a wooden axe. I prefer level 2 people. They use stone and they aren't too picky. Tier 3 buildings and citizens are usually the ones I stick with because they are mostly competent. They can use all non-enchanted tool types, I think, and overall they're a good balance of being annoying to manage and being able to actually do stuff and use materials. What do you want? Shovel, of course. Shovel. Shovel.
I'm missing something. I can't work like this.
You can also give these people what they desire by clicking on this, open requests. You can see the stuff that they want. Fulfill. There we go. And because I have infinite things, because I'm in creative, I didn't actually give him anything. Or, well, I gave him a copy of the shovel, but I still have my shovel. But I don't want it. It's a bad shovel. Let's clean this up a bit. And this guy's gonna keep doing his thing. Now I can show off a couple other things, like the clipboard. Minecolony clipboard. So what is a minecolony clipboard? You make it like this. And what does it do? What's it made of? What's it do? You right-click. And ta-da! You can now view all of the requests that any and every building has. So you just make a clipboard, you right-click while crouching on a building, and then you can see what they want. You can filter them by important requests, and I think all important requests are the ones that they are confident that they cannot possibly manage themselves. So, yeah.
Working. It's a fine day.
What is it? Oh, yeah. So now I can demonstrate what the assistant hammer does. As long as you have the blocks you need in your inventory, you can right-click on these transparent blocks, and you can pop them down. Just like that. Now, apparently in a recent-ish update, these Domum Ornamentum blocks, which are made of 2 separate blocks that you combine in a saw device, they were modified, so the player only has to make framed ones instead of all the crossed beams and all the other fancy ones. So they made that easier. If you want to not deal with 1,000 different types of blocks, you just make framed blocks, and the builder sort of takes care of the rest for you. Can I use a different hammer? Never used a different hammer. What was a different hammer like?
The roof is more holy than cheese. It rains on my head.
Shut up. But yeah, if I just gave the materials this guy wants directly to him, he would of course start building. So say I give him oak log and oak plank. There you go. And a cobble. We can have a cobble as a treat. And this guy would probably start working on that soon. Bro, you good? You gonna,
So what'll it be for you?
Thanks for helping. Yeah, sure. Can you, please? I'm trying to make it like tutorial sort of thing over here. Right. So these people, they are not very smart. They need a lot of help. You can expect the builder to be able to like do their job. They're just not the most quick or efficient about it. What do you want? Dirt. You need dirt. Of course you need everything. So you can either do this, use a builder hammer assistant thingamajig and do this stuff. Now there are other things you can make. Let's see. At mine colony. Mine colony. Right. Resource scroll. How do you make that? Like this. This is a resource scroll. What's a resource scroll? Why do you want that? The resource scroll tells you exactly the kind of blocks or materials that any one specific building requests. So, now I've linked it by crouching and right-clicking on the builder hut, and I can now view all of the blocks that this guy wants. And that they're green means that I have these blocks and I can give them to him. Otherwise, it has like a little arrow that shows that this building is producing this and that, and this building is delivering this and that, and they have make requests and send requests and whatever else. If this settlement had actual like infrastructure already, I would not have to do all of this myself. Which, that's just the early game of Mine Colony. You gotta make everything yourself. Normally, I would just look at the list of blocks that this guy wants and say, okay, sure, I can get him that. And I just stuff all of that in his inventory directly, or I go into his house over here and I open this and stuff it in here. Or I stuff it into one of his racks, but he doesn't have any because this is a level 1 build house. Alternatively, once the warehouse is built, I can put all of the things I want to give to the colony into the warehouse, as long as there's enough space in there. Since, as long as there's a courier, once it's in a warehouse, it'll eventually probably get to the guy who's supposed to get it. Making good progress here. How much more do you need? Oh, it's built. It's finished. What do you want? Dirt.
Can I help you?
You do not need dirt.
Problem?
You do not need any of these things. It's good. It's fine.
Good to see you, mate. Good to see you, mate.
Buddy? You good? The sound of this guy building something somewhere. We're breaking it? I don't... Aha! The sound of progress. So that's the builder. Now these people, they want to have a bed and they want to have a food. Now these people are kind of useless without buildings to do stuff for them. So early on, you definitely want to get these people a dining hall. Well, actually, you want to have a tavern first, because a tavern has 4 beds, which happens to be just the exact amount of people you start the game with. How convenient. So you go down here, and then you go... Yeah, that works. And over here, da-da-da-da-da. Does this look... Yeah, it fits, I guess. And we're gonna build it constructed, because I don't wanna... Yeah. Yep. I'm pretty sure you can only have 1 tavern. The tavern is also going to generate visitors who spawn down here, and then they'll walk around. You can hire them for usually exorbitant prices of resources or materials, and buy them, and then they join your colony. Alternatively, you can just build new living space by just building more residential buildings, and these people will procreate by themselves. They are very fast at making babies. They are, over here, residence. It's a build a residence. How does this look? It's fine. It's constructed. What was it that I wanted to show? How to mine the colonies, I think. So now that we have more residences, each level of residence is able to fit more people in it. Now we'll want to have a warehouse, because it's important to maintain some amount of sanity, saving you a lot of walking around. You'll probably want to build lumber camp very early on, Should be, oh yeah, over in Essentials, probably. Fundamentals. Forester's Hut. Yeah, this one makes new trees and cuts down trees. And they can strip bark. That's all they do. They'll probably keep requesting hoes and axes, but that's just how it is. Right. We'll want craftsmanship, storage, courierhut, delivery, whatever. Oh yeah, higher levels of warehouses can fit more delivery people, but each house of delivery people can only fit one delivery person as far as I know, so you'll probably want to build more than one of these eventually. Great. Oh yeah, and then let's build uh, storage, warehouse. If you want to know how to build the building blocks for these, you can just use just enough items to view the recipes, but they're typically not too expensive to build. Like, I'm pretty sure you just need a chest, some planks, and the building tool to make the block for this thing here. So now we have living space, a builder, and the basis for our logistics. Great. Now, there's more buildings we can build. We could build a sawmill for them to be able to make all sorts of wood blocks like planks and stairs and slabs and doors and I don't know, these things over here, these domum ornamentum blocks. However, for the sawmill to be available for building, we need to research it in the university. And to be able to research it in the university, we need a level 3 lumber forester hut thingamajig, right? We need a level 3 forester hut. So we could, like, I don't know, build a bridge over here and then build a forester on the other side, but I don't want to build a bridge. So I'm just gonna put the forester in some corner over here and wish him good luck. Yeah, there's plenty trees. It's just, yeah, you'll be fine. Forester, Lumberiak. Is this overlapping with this building over here? Wouldn't want that to happen. It'll be fine. Let's just, yep. Now we will build a restaurant, because that's the final building they need to not die. Besides food production. Because these people, for some reason, they are unwilling to go to the warehouse to get food, so they need a dining hall. And they come here to get food. The person who works in the dining hall is somehow unable to cook even the most basic of things, except putting some things in an oven, like potatoes, and then makes baked potatoes. Anything more complicated than just baking something is beyond them. So, higher tier citizens, or settlers or whatever, they will want... Oh yeah, I'm in creative, so I can just ignore this border, so I'm just gonna do that. Yeah. Sure. Oh no, it's floating. Terrible. Right, okay. We're doing great. We're doing great. Yep. You do not want buildings to float. That's kind of ridiculous, but you know that. This is just a terrible process of showing how I built settlement. Right. So then you'll want to upgrade buildings. Like, to upgrade any building, you need to first upgrade the builder hut. To upgrade the builder hut further, you need to upgrade the town hall, I believe. Then you upgrade the builder hut, then you upgrade the town hall, then when both of these are level 3, you can start upgrading your forester, and you can upgrade your miner, which I haven't built. And once you've upgraded your forester and miner, you can go to the university, which I also haven't built. And in the university, you can unlock more automation buildings, like the sawmill, the smith who makes tools, the stone cutter, and stonemason or whatever, so they can actually start making cobblestone stairs without you having to do all of that. So basically, the more buildings you unlock, the more things you do, the less you sort of have to do yourself. As for feeding these people, you can set up a farm that grows vegetables. I recommend potatoes and carrots as a start, because these people are gonna keep getting influenza, and for some reason, carrots and potatoes cures them. And if you do not have a hospital, you will need to give them the carrots and potatoes manually, and you just need to pay attention if they get sick, which is super annoying. So I recommend building a hospital at some point, so you can have a doctor, I guess. And they're gonna just sit in this house and wait for people to get sick. And when they get sick, they come over here, and then the doctor gives them their carrots and potatoes, and then they cure themselves without you having to do that all the time. I'm pretty sure on the server there's like 100,000 cases of influenza by now. They can also get other diseases which require more annoying or complicated resources, like sometimes I've seen them get smallpox, which you need a golden apple and a honey bottle for. I don't have that kind of stuff, so unfortunately these people don't seem to die from diseases. They just need a lot of time to recover. Let's times a day. Yeah. They also don't like working while it is raining, which is kind of annoying. So I recommend you change that in the settings somewhere. Hmm. Oh, that sure is that's some draw distance. I guess it explains what was lagging earlier. I don't like that. There's fungi over there. What's that? Huh. Right, if you're not playing in peaceful, you'll also get visitors sometimes, like bandits in the form of like they're barbarians or something. They show up, they cause some grief, and then you beat them to death, and that's that. If you do not like dealing with mobs and other sorts of things, you can of course build a guard tower or 5 or 18 or however many you want. A guard tower has the same function as a residence somehow, so each guard tower houses one citizen. So once a citizen baby grows up, they will just move into a guard tower and live there forever. And then they just walk around, sleep on the floor, and fight mobs whenever possible. Um, One of the jobs of all time. So, say you have finally unlocked the smith. I'm just gonna put them over here because space is getting a bit short. You've unlocked this blacksmith, but it's more of a universal kind of smith. Pretty sure blacksmith is a special or specific variety sort of smith. This is more like an everything smith. They're an armor smith, weaponsmith, toolsmith. They just smith all the things. So you walk over here, and they don't know how to do anything. They're useless. So you grab yourself stick. Where's stick? I just need stick. There's stick. And then you can pick whatever material you want, though you should probably pick something that these people can actually use and have access to, like oak planks. Oak. Oh, there they are. Since this is all tier 1, let's just teach them how to make oak tools. So we put these in here, and we put them like that, and then done. And now this fucker knows how to make a wooden pickaxe. Ooh. So whenever someone needs a wooden pickaxe, this guy is gonna say, hey, I need wood for wooden pickaxe. I need planks and a stick or two. And then this guy's gonna say, hey, it's gonna be in here. We need stick and planks and whatever. And then the lumber person over here, well, their wood is automatically gonna be delivered to the warehouse, which is over there. And if we had a sawmill, I haven't seen mill today. That's a shame. Let's just put the sawmill over here. It's fine. Craftsmanship, carpentry, sawmill, sawmill. I prefer alt sawmill. This one doesn't come with water. Right. So here we have a sawmill. Let's just say, oh yeah, he's gonna have to teach him how to make sticks, because I don't know, these people don't know how to make sticks, apparently. Yeah, we teach him how to sticks, and then teach him how to make planks. And now this person is able to make planks and sticks, which is all the resources they really need to make an axe over here where is the blacksmith? There's the blacksmith. So the courier would go from their house over to this thing. They already do. They just usually go to the place that makes resources, deliver them to the warehouse, which is over there. No, wait, where is it? It's over there. Yeah, they go over there, and then let's say this person has a request for an axe. Then the courier will go to the warehouse, deliver the raw wood to the sawmill, where the wood is turned into planks and sticks. The planks and sticks are then probably brought back over to the warehouse because this place is a circus, and then they're brought over to the smith, who for some reason uses wood to make an axe, because that's what smiths do apparently. And then they're gonna, then the courier takes the thing, brings it over to the warehouse, I think, and then they're gonna bring it over here. Of course, all of this is rather inefficient and takes forever, so more often than not, you'll probably be looking at this and think, oh, great, they need axes again. Ooh. And then you walk over here, you get yourself a stack of sticks. Where's stick? There's stick. And get a stack of planks. You make... Ugh. Ugh. Fill your inventory with axes, and then you go... And then, eventually, whenever they need axes, they go over here, they take the axes and deliver them to where they're needed. Of course, this is very cluttery. This takes up a lot of space in storage, because tools are just... they take up an entire slot. It's not nice. It's not good. It's not efficient. But, that's something you can do, especially if you do not have a smith yet. So yeah, that's the minecolony experience. You have a bunch of little lemmings that are kind of useless, and they depend on you to do everything. Unless you build the buildings that cater to their needs and that fulfill the different roles in this terrible logistic network. Weather clear. That's what I thought. Yeah, I am not sure what else I should be teaching. Oh yeah, there's also a quest book. Quest. I don't know why. Sometimes the peasants have some weird quest like, oh, I have a crush on this and that. Can you take this flower and bring it to them? And then you like have the quest show up in this book. Oh yeah, and then right click on here. Ooh, quests. There aren't any quests right now, of course. Yeah. And if you wanted to build your own house around here somewhere, you should probably just pick a place that isn't already built in and then go, oh yeah, I want to live over here in this in this place. This is a good place to live. Good. Great. Door. Da-da! I live here now. Alternatively, you can do what I guess they kind of expect you to do, which is live in the town hall, which is gonna be kind of annoying when they upgrade it, because you cannot really change anything in here without them changing it back whenever you upgrade the building. And I mean, you can use the storage chests in here, but this place also doesn't come with a lot of commodities, like a crafting table, for instance. So I guess you can use this place as some sort of spawn if you want, but it's not that great for Minecraft living, unless you weren't really doing any of the crafting to begin with. Right. So, that's the minecolony, I think. Have I forgotten anything important? We can spawn creatures. We can, yeah, there's different kind of buildings, like a field. I can show how to make a field, but it's pretty self-explanatory. There's different kinds of buildings, but, like if we go, for instance, over here and say, oh yeah, let's look, oh, there's so many buttons. Actually, this one just lets me change who works here. This one lets me spawn the worker at the work location if I think they're gone to wherever, who knows. Or they gotten stuck somewhere. Often useful for miners. this is how you upgrade the building. You click on build options and then you can click on upgrade. And sometimes you can just, is a trick, you can click on the builder and then click upgrade. This makes this a priority build somehow. It just puts it on the top of the list. Except unless you've done that for different buildings, then yeah. So you can teach them different recipes. The lumber person already knows these recipes and they cannot learn anymore. You can tell them to replant or not. You can use a different tool to enable some zoning, which says where they are allowed to grow trees and where not. I don't really care right now, so I'm not going to do that. You can get the tool, I guess. You can tell them what trees they're supposed to grow. This is where they get requests, or, well, their tasks, which is like, yeah, I haven't really got anything more to say right now. Maybe I'm just forgetting something. I think I covered the important, crucial stuff. Basically, you have to keep a lookout for these people because they're helpless. They need help. They cannot do anything. I can't do anything. Oh, I can do a lot of things. These people, not so much. Oh, this has been how long? 41 minutes of awful tutorial? I'm sorry. Let's give them a food source. Just to make sure that this place is that the tutorial is complete and that these people are vaguely able to feed themselves. Where's the fisher? There's the fisherman. Oh yeah, this is the water. Make sure the water is at level with water. Yeah, I build this. I don't care. Does this overlap? Nah. Yeah, but who cares? I don't. It's fine. It's not like I'm gonna upgrade these, so as long as I don't upgrade these, no one's gonna notice that this looks bad. If they were upgraded, that is. I should probably like. This is not ideal, but whatever. The fisher is gonna be able to fish. Of course, there's gonna be an issue that they're not gonna be able to get the string for the. Oh yeah, you need a fletcher to make anything that has string in it, and to get the string, you need to have sheep, or you have a mod that adds a plant that has string in it. Right. Oh yeah, you want to go to the restaurant over here and allow them to eat fish. Cooked fish. Salmon. Cooked salmon. And cooked cod. And then you allow them to use coal, and let's say we have a lot of oak, so we're gonna allow them to use oak log and oak plank. Because otherwise they're not really gonna have anything to, where is the regular oak plank? What is this? There they are. So then they're gonna be able to use these materials to cook the food of in, hot in, of in the food. Why do they call it of in when you hot out, eat the food? Can they even get in here? There, now they should be able to just sort of walk over there. This is terribly placed. What was I thinking? Oh yeah, it's fine. They just walk around here. This is awful. This hurts to look at. Let's just give them a staircase. That'll help. Yeah. Now that's what I'm talking about. Hmm? Gross. Right, so I don't really care about the whole animal thing. Like, yeah, to make your shepherd hut, you build a shepherd hut, then you find sheep, then you bring the sheep into the shepherd pen thing, and then they're gonna start shepherding in there. Great. Instead, how about we just like make a farm, make a level 2 farm so they can have 2 fields, or like a level 3 farm. That makes sense. So, farm. Where do we put farm? Over here. There's a lot of space over here. I don't care if they have to swim. Who cares? I don't. I don't have to swim. I can fly. Plantation? No, they don't. They don't make. They just make like sugarcane and cacti or something. Farm. Farmer. Where's the? Yeah, this is the farmer. Farmer level 3. Up. Is this fine? Is this good? Yeah. Yeah, sure. You cannot place a building outside your colony. Expand your colony by upgrading town hall or building or upgrade town guard. Yeah, fine. Sure, I'll build it somewhere else then. Shouldn't have built so close to so much water because I cannot use all of this space for anything. But, you know. I did that intentionally as a tutorial thing. Don't build in places where you cannot use most of the space to build things, because yeah, then you have to do big terraforming or something to be able to do anything, and that's annoying. Who likes to do that? Yeah, let's fill up a river. Great. How's this? Yeah, this is fine. Oh, I built a level 1 farmer by accident. Oh well. So, we're gonna go over here. Since we have a mod that adds flax, we tell them make flax, and if I give them seeds, we where's the flax over there? Flax seeds, inventory, and then we build a Fletcher. Fletcher's hut, level 2. Why not? No, let's just make a level 1. We're consistent. Truly an atrocious village I'm making, but it's fine. It's fine. And over here, we're gonna... crafting recipes? Yeah, crafting recipes. So we're gonna teach them how to make... can these people make string from flax? Is this something that this person does? Can you do that? Oh yeah, they can do that. So this person farms the flax, and this person gets the flax, makes it into string, and then they can use the string directly to make the fishing rod once I teach them stick. Well, they're gonna get the stick from the sawmill, because Fletchers cannot make sticks, as you know. Why would they be able to do that? That's woodwork. Fletchers make, like, bows and sticks. No, they don't make sticks. I just said they don't make sticks. I shouldn't... Right, now we can have infinite fishing rods, and then they're gonna make fish forever, and they're gonna keep cutting wood forever, and then they're gonna eat fish for all eternity. And if I want these people to grow more things, I have to build another farm or upgrade this farm. Then I built more fields. Do I have the field blueprint? I made a custom field blueprint for ease of use. Scans, stony field. Oh yeah, my field! Beautiful. So, boop, boop. Constructed. Constructed. There we go. Now we have 2 fields. 2 more fields. This person can only use 1 field, so we're gonna have to build a level 2 farm over there. Yeah, over here it's fine. We have to switch back to medieval oak. I'm gonna farm old farmer, because this one's smaller, level 2, so they can do 2 farms, and put them there, boom, boom. Assigned to builder. No! Okay. Whatever. I've shown off enough. Right, you can go to this place and they say, oh yeah, you're supposed to do this field, or maybe that field, or this field, or bleh. That's enough. Enough. I'm just gonna keep yapping and no one's gonna learn anything. If you've learned something from this video, I'm impressed, cause I don't think I've taught anything. Thanks for watching, though. I value your patience, and no one's gonna watch to this point. I mean, come on. Actually, someone might skip to the ending of the video.
Wouldn't that be funny if I kept talking into this can and it'll sound really funny? Wouldn't that be awesome if I just made an entire video where I talk into a can? That'd be so comedic and funny. I'm such an hilarious, funny YouTuber. I'm the funny